So that'll be like the earliest I've ever gotten to jump on a new ride. So that'll be fun. Yeah. You can be here. Do you want Jack to help carry them? I can carry them.
How old is Sanford? Victoria. Oh my God. Thank you. So, Alice will be quiet. Oh, that's what Alice said, yeah. Her youngest.
Very well, thank you. Exciting day as both mom and administrator.
So how old is
Okay.
No way.
So I bought this on March 7th last year for my 25th college reunion. So of course I never got to wear it. So I think I wore it on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then I decided it was a little dressy for you to have it.
Congratulate you all on your dress. Beautiful, your dress is so congratulations.
I will go grab her.
Yes, we were surprised. We were just thrown out with them, and they're not exactly the same. They're like polar opposites of being twins, so we were a little shocked actually as a family that it worked out that way. Nevertheless, we're happy. One trip for us. Yes, I don't think they'll need to see each other unless they have to. But I just wanted to come congratulate you. All right, take care. Oh, thank you.
I was there finishing the year. I said, let me turn the focus up real quick. She said, "Oh, turn the focus up." Out of there, cold. It was in Real. There, 90-degree weather, real shade. Wind almost. He went out like he was looking.
Shady. So far, so good. I'm going to go call 4 o'clock.
I do like eating ice cream. A lot of people don't like it. So at least when they're up there, they get 2 years free college.
Billy, Lincoln.
Taking the aisle.
No, see, that's the kind of
Well, I may not need it because of the sun. You have hair, I don't. So if I can have the hat, it would make the hat better than okay. You know where they're going? We're going to send Lincoln back. You may have the guy your grandparents back.
Yep, here they come.
Oh, yeah, here they come.
Oh, and you want to get over here and take a picture? You want to see here up?
Yeah, look away from exactly away from it. See that playground? Go in that direction.
Eli.
To the playground. Yeah. And then you'll see it. We're all here. It's about to start like right now.
Got the picture ready?
Yep. All the way through that. Over that.
I really did.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Molish and Mr. Williams. And let's give this group a big round of applause because we are here to celebrate our 8th grade class. Sanford's class of 2025. This is our 2021 middle school closing exercises, and how wonderful to be together once again in our amphitheater in Sanford's Quad. We missed this event last year, so to be together to celebrate our students in the school year, it's wonderful to have you all. No one's missing Zoom right now, right? First, I'd like to thank many people who are with us today, especially Emily Mendham, Max Schneider, Courtney Greger, Karen Perkins, our entire middle school faculty and staff for the wonderful school year that they've given all of our students. Please join me in a round of applause. In fact, I'd like all of our middle school faculty and staff to please rise so that we may recognize you. They do a great job every year, and this year more than any other, they have really risen to the occasion to deliver for our students and for our families. I'm very proud of the students that you see on stage today. They are serious about their schoolwork. They are Sanford athletes, although this year we didn't get to play sports. Artists and scholars. This class, our class of 2025, embodies what we value at the heart of our school. They work hard and they treat each other well. And these 8th graders, I've witnessed it firsthand, they also like to have a lot of fun while they also get to work. I'm excited to see how this class grows, both literally and figuratively, over the next 4 years. And it will grow come September when we have over 30 new freshmen joining this group. The demand to be a member of the class of 2025 has never been higher. And that is in part because of the quality of our current class. I know that the 8th graders on stage will embrace these new Sanford students with a welcoming spirit that our school is known for. Today you're going to hear speeches from 3 members of this class talking about their Sanford experience. And we'll hear performances from several other members of this 8th grade class as well. And we will award special recognition to students who have distinguished themselves academically, artistically, and athletically. However, make no mistake, every student on the stage deserves our congratulations and our appreciation. We're here to celebrate you all. And it's going to be a great ceremony, and I'm really pleased you're all here to enjoy it and celebrate with us. Thank you. I forgot I had a line on the 3rd page. Our first student speaker will be Bree Furline. Bree's speech is titled, "The Growth in Humility." Bree?
Can you guys, ooh, okay, you can hear me. Okay. When I first thought about writing a speech, I was going to do the generic, Sanford has done this, 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 and all that good stuff, because you can never really go wrong with that. But when I look back at my first year, I don't think of the things I've learned. Don't get me wrong, I've learned a lot. Trust me, my teachers made sure of it. Anyways, I also learned non-academic lessons that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. I learned humility, like when Mr. Barnaby told me he doesn't give grades, but I earn them myself. I also learned persistence, like when we had to convince our teachers for longer math breaks. And finally, I learned not to cry when I saw a geometrical proof in geometry. This year has taught me not only how to be a good student, but a good person as well. Sanford is more than just a school. It's a place to grow, to try things you never thought you would, and to take risks. Struggling at Sanford isn't frowned upon. No, it's encouraged. Now that might sound weird, but if you're not reaching, are you really learning and growing? Sanford is also inclusive in many ways I didn't think. I was scared of what clique I might fit in when I came. But at Sanford, there isn't really any of that here. You don't see separation or disincludedness. Sorry to English teachers if that's not a word. But anyways, Sanford isn't that. If anything, I excelled, especially when I beat Mr. Hart and Mr. Rao in the basketball tournament. Mr. Rao told me something I want you all to know as well. He told me, Bree, control only what you can control. My first year here has been a whirl, and I've experienced both amazing ups and hard downs. But without even knowing, I used Mr. Rao's advice through it all. I stayed grounded and only worried about the things I knew I could change. And if you don't hear anything else from this speech, I want you to remember that. I encourage you all to be the best version of yourselves as we move into the upper school. Class of 2025 is here, and can I say we are more than ready for summer. I want to say thank you to Sanford's middle school teachers, both ones I've had the pleasure of learning from, but the ones I also didn't have and grew close with. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to grow, not only academically, but emotionally as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Bree. I know every single one of us here today, every teacher, every faculty member, every family member, every student is thrilled to be here in person to celebrate this class. And that deserves another round of applause. It means a lot to me to be here to lead this class through their celebration, because not too long ago, when they started their middle school journeys, I was a 5th grade homeroom and language art teachers with this class as they transitioned up to the middle school. As my role has grown just a little bit, these students have grown as well. Their class has grown in number, and they've all grown in stature. They've all grown in every way possible, academically, musically, athletically, artistically, socially, emotionally, and hopefully organizationally. As we move through the ceremony today, you will get just a glimpse of the many gifts and talents the students of this class will take with them as they move on to the upper school. We will begin by asking Nina Silverman-Weeks to showcase the work of one of our 8th grade artists. Nina?
Thank you. Good morning. We have a tradition in the middle school where a work of art is selected by the art department to represent each grade level. The artwork then becomes part of the middle school's permanent collection. Students bestowed with this honor have worked hard in the studio and have practiced many positive artistic behaviors throughout the year, and in this student's case, many, many, many years. Lola Borsello, would you please come down and accept your certificate and present your work of art to the middle school. Thank you.
Our first musical selection today will be what Karen Perkins calls a true toe tapper. It will be performed by Katie Abinopoulos, Julian Nesbitt, and C.J. Walters. The talented trio will perform Duke Ellington's It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing.
part of the band world that you never see in person, right?
Okay.
Thank you, Katie, Julian, and CJ. I Would Rather Be Alone is the title of our second student address today, given by August Pompon.
I would rather be alone is one of the biggest lies I've ever told myself. The truth is, I didn't want to be alone. I just didn't want to talk to new people. Since we moved from Seattle, I had already been the new kid in 2 new schools in 2 years, and this was about to be my 3rd time in a row. I just wanted to be invisible. So that's what I tried to do. I decided I would not talk unless it was absolutely necessary. I decided I would sit alone. But let me tell you, this was hard. On the first day of 7th grade, students and teachers kept coming up to me and talking to me. They would try to make sure that I was doing well and made sure I wasn't alone. They'd ask me questions like, "How are you? How do you like Sanford? How are your classes going?" And more of these kinds of questions. I went to sit alone at the lunch table because I didn't want to talk to anyone or ask to sit with them. A couple of girls walked over to me and asked me to sit with them. It seemed like the whole table had agreed for them to ask me, and they were all very welcoming. I hated this because it ruined my plan for my new alone existence. But as I look back, I'm so thankful they did this. I just remember thinking, why are they so nice here? Because even though I didn't acknowledge this at the time, it made me feel comfortable with my new school and the community. The students and teachers at Sanford are all very welcoming and inclusive of everyone. As I continued, I noticed even the smallest gesture made a difference. Whether it was someone holding a door, someone else saying hello in the hallway, another person helping you clean up after class, and so many more little things you think someone wouldn't notice. But I noticed. And not just one specific person, but everybody was doing these kinds of things. And I'm happy to say they weren't just doing these on the first day of school, but every day. This year, I saw kids welcoming new students just as they did when I came. Students look out for people when they're sitting alone, ask to be partners in class, things everyone did when I came. I may have been to more schools than most kids, and I have never seen students as nice as the ones at Sanford. Not only are the students nice, but the teachers are too. Teachers really get to know you and will realize when you may be struggling and reach out. I don't think I would have been as successful without them. They help you push yourself to be the best you can be. I'm happy to start high school in such a welcoming place, and I'm glad I was wrong about wanting to be alone. And I hope I can prove someone else wrong too. You just can't be alone at Sanford, and I'm so thankful to be part of this amazing community. Thank you.
Well done, August. Composed by Gabrielle Faure, Après un rêve will now be performed by Ava Swan. Thank you, Ava. The Sanford Welcome is the title of today's final student speech. It will be presented by Siobhan Lucy.
Good morning. When my parents first visited Sanford, they went without me and came back hoping that this was the school they would send me to. They said to me, "Siobhan, the campus is adorable. You take classes in different buildings just like at college. It has an outstanding performance art building. The electives look so fun. You need to go here." Since I hadn't seen the school, my reaction was a bit muted. I was like, "Okay, calm down. I'll go on a tour at some point and we'll see." But when I got there, I had to admit, Sanford was pretty terrific. I knew I wanted to go here, but I couldn't help feeling anxious and worried about fitting in. My first day, I arrived at school pretty confident that someone was going to tease or critique me. I was afraid I would do something unusual and would be the laughingstock or the girl who gets shunned. The people in my advisory were welcoming and kind. I was shown to all of my classes by people who didn't look like they were going to be angry at me because I made them late. But I still had to face lunch. I was standing alone in the cafe thinking to myself, oh, I'm about to have to go sit alone and sob. Miraculously, multiple people asked me if I wanted to sit with them. This friendliness was a new experience, but it kept happening. And that was the moment when things clicked for me. People at Sanford actually cared if I sat alone. Sanford kids care. Later that year, when classes really started, I was almost in awe. Everything felt so fancy and I was confused so often. But when I reached out for help, I got a response. When I moved into quarantine, it seemed like everything became a lot harder. Luckily for me, I've had great teachers who adjusted pretty well and very quickly to the whole virtual learner thing. My teachers were always willing to help, even when I was asking a million random questions. And looking back, the answers to some of those questions were very obvious. So thank you for your patience. The thing is, Sanford teachers really care. I have learned so much for the past 2 years I've been at Sanford, and we all have. I learned what a primary source was, how to format multiple types of essays, how to say hello in 2 languages. That's right, people. Hola, bonjour. I also learned that math actually can be applied to real life, what a cell is, and how to burn different powders on a flame. More importantly, I learned that there's an amazing community here, full of people who care. Students, faculty, staff, parents, everyone who is part of the Sanford community makes this place special. Sanford was so much better than I could have hoped, and I'm overjoyed to be graduating from the middle school and continue with many of my classmates into the upper school. Thanks to each and every one of you for creating a place where I feel so welcomed.
Let's give one more round of applause for all our performers and speakers. In the next segment of our program, our faculty will recognize some of our talented 8th graders who have demonstrated specific success in each of the disciplines. They're going to come forward and present the awards now.
Good morning again. The student chosen for this year's art award has developed many artistic behaviors with passion at the top of the list. She does not seek praise or accolade. Rather, her strong desire to learn about a variety of mediums and art forms has been a personal journey of exploration and self-discovery during her middle school career. This student has earned gold and silver keys, plus an honorable mention at the 2021 Regional Scholastic Art and Writing Competition for her photography. The recipient of the 2021 Art Award is Ava Swan.
The Band Award is presented to an outstanding member of the Sanford performing arts community who has excelled in concert band this year. This year impacted the performing arts in many different ways, and COVID restrictions made it difficult to perform the way we are used to. Despite these challenges, this student was a strong musical leader and always willing to help whenever he was needed. He can always be counted on to bring his best to every rehearsal and have a positive attitude. It has been a pleasure to watch this young musician grow and persevere over this difficult year as a result of his strong work ethic and commitment to the performing arts. This year's award goes to Nikhil Patel.
The recipient of the Chorus Award is someone who has found a good standing in the Performing Arts Department. He is a strong, solid member of our ensemble and brought talent as well as humor to each rehearsal. He is a kind student, thoughtful, and hardworking. I can count on him to make good choices in any class and consider myself fortunate to have had the opportunity to teach him in multiple classes. This year's recipient is Ryan Timmons.
The recipient of the English Award really took initiative in their learning this year. Their passion and curiosity manifested into intense class discussions, a deep understanding of our text, and quite a few thought-provoking essays. Most importantly, this student loves to think critically and apply the themes that we covered as they expanded their understanding of the world around them. Continue to embrace your creativity, and thank you for a great year, Ava Brooks.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, bonjour. Chaque année, le prix de français est attribué à un élève qui a démontré un intérêt prononcé pour la langue et la culture française. Cet élève est récompensé pour son engagement dans l'apprentissage du français. C'est avec grand plaisir que je remets le prix de français de cette année à Carson Kelly.
On the off chance that you are not familiar with ancient languages, this is the Latin award. Hoc premium datum illi discipulo qui cum gaudio studio quae ad Latinum discendam secam fert, hac anno dator Orion Schlusel, who is remote today, so he shall pick up his gift at another date.
The recipient of the Mathematics Award goes to a talented and very determined mathematician. This student was the only 8th grader in an upper school mathematics course. While that can be intimidating, he did not let that stop him from always being actively engaged and doing his very best. His strong work ethic and desire to learn enabled him to achieve great success in mathematics. He is a natural problem solver who likes a challenge and always strives to understand the meaning and the why behind the mathematics. This year's Mathematics Award goes to Cam Taylor.
The Science Award recognizes an independent thinker with the creative flair of an artist and the precision of an engineer. This inventive student is an innovative problem solver who easily adapts to new situations and is not afraid to take academic risks. The recipient consistently demonstrates that learning and personal integrity are more important than a final grade. He is a natural scientist and spends much of his own time learning new concepts in science and engineering. I'm proud to announce that this year's Science Award goes to Eddie Eduardo Gattaca.
The recipient of the Social Studies Award is a student who has a genuine love for American government. This young historian strives to come to a better understanding of the past and its relation to the present and future. Her consistent thirst for more knowledge, her ability to work well with others, and her inquisitive nature demonstrates her love for the subject. For passion and persistence in the field of history and a commendable attitude, the Social Studies Award is presented to Ava Swan.
Tengo el honor de presentar el Premio de Español este año a un estudiante que se ha destacado en el aprendizaje del idioma con una alta calificación y con una actitud siempre positiva, amable y sincera. Este año el Premio de Español es otorgado a Tegan Kovacs.
The Middle School Girl Athlete Award goes to a fierce competitor who embraces a tough challenge. Her love of sports is evident in day-to-day life through conversations, cheering on teammates, and always going above and beyond practice in her game. Her natural talent and passions were evident in performances on the volleyball court, lacrosse field, and basketball court. Especially as an 8th grader, she was an essential member of the team that made it to the basketball state finals. The middle school coaches are proud to present this year's Middle School Girl Athlete Award to Jada Snow.
I forgot to follow the format here, so I'm going to tell you who it is first. Ryan Timmons was a starting catcher on the varsity baseball team for 19 of our 20 games this year. The other game, he started at second base. We won 12 games, due in no small part to Ryan's skills behind the plate. As an 8th grader, Ryan provided on-field leadership and an excellent defensive presence at catcher, a position that is critical to the success of a baseball team. In addition, Ryan served as a role model of hustle, hard work, and love for the game. We are lucky to have Ryan on our team for the next 4 years. Congratulations to Ryan Timmons, the 2021 recipient of the Boys Athletic Award.
Citizenship Award. The recipient of the Citizenship Award goes to a student who completely immerses himself in the arts, athletics, leadership, and academics. He has a unique ability to excel in everything while remaining thoughtful, compassionate to his peers and teachers. This year's award is presented to a student who truly allows no talent to lie latent, Julian Nesbitt.
This year's Service Award recipient is a kind and thoughtful student who has always made it a priority to give back. She encouraged her Sanford friends to join in yearly projects that helped local organizations. She has collected paper towel rolls, socks, and stuffed animals to benefit the homeless and animals in shelters. In honor of Mrs. McKay, she helped bring a sustainable bench to the courtyard and butterfly garden. For her truly cheerful service the last few years and the many ways she contributes to the Sanford Middle School community, it is my pleasure to present the Service Award to Gabby Radzowitz.
The Virtual Learner Award goes to the student who exhibited the best attitude towards learning online. The recipient of this award demonstrated all of the behaviors and habits that made teaching them easily. They consistently showed up on time to Zoom meetings, communicated respectfully and appropriately with their teachers and peers, and never allowed the natural fatigue of learning online to get in the way of their academic growth and enthusiasm for school. In fact, this learner was so good at online learning that they retired from it 2/3 of the way through the school year. The inaugural and hopefully final Virtual Learner Award goes to Siobhan Cox.
The Evergreen Award is presented to a student who has demonstrated persistent growth and skill development throughout their time in the Sanford Middle School. The recipient is a contributing member to many aspects of community life, is respectful towards all community members, abides by the honor code, and always represents Sanford School well. This year, there are 2 recipients for the Evergreen Award, Katie Adamopoulos and Siobhan Lucy.
Good morning. The Academic Achievement Award is presented this year to a young lady who excelled in all disciplines. Her success was marked by intellectual curiosity, the use of all tools available to better herself, and a love for learning. At the same time, she demonstrated genuine appreciation for her school and respect for the classroom environment. I'm very pleased and honored to present the 2021 Academic Achievement Award to Bree Furline.
The Sanford Award is presented to a student who excels athletically in the classroom and leads classmates through actions and deeds. This student feels the pulse of the school and consistently demonstrates spirit, pride, respect, and love for Sanford School. Interacting with respect to students and faculty alike, the student volunteers tirelessly for the good of the school. This year's recipient of the Sanford Award is Quinn Moore.
On this day, we celebrate these wonderful students on the stage. Students, when I announce your name, please stand and walk to Mr. Anderson to receive your certificate. We also ask that your parents and family members stand as well when your name is called so that they too can be recognized. Catherine Adamopoulos. Braden Avatara. Victoria Blondell. Lola Borsello. Ava Brooks. Karen Brown. Liliana Censerato. William Christopher. John Colgan. Siobhan Cox. Zoe Diviney. Ryan Doty. Gabrielle Furline. Participating remotely today, Rohan Gaddy. Eduardo Gattaca. William Hanloff. Carson Kalish. Andrew Kaiser. Nasir Kelman. Nkosi Kelman. Tegan Kovacs. Siobhan Lucy. Aaron McLeod. Participating remotely today, Aiden McDermott. Nicodemus McNeil. Anthony Maloro. Quinn Moore. Olivia Needham. Julian Nesbitt. Corinne Nolan. Beatrice Navkovic. Nikhil Patel. Mason Phillips. Luca Pompey. August Pompom. Gabriella Radzowitz. Luke Schiavi. Participating remotely, Orion Schlussel. Elijah Smith. Jada Snow. Nathan Suddy. Ava Swan. Charles Tao. Cameron Taylor. Ryan Timmons. Pranali Viswanathan. CJ Walters. Audrey Michelle Watson. Clifton Wise III. Braden Yates. Matthew Zhao. The middle school has a tradition where a faculty member is selected by the 8th grade to deliver the final words of wisdom to the class. This year, the class of 2025 has asked Freddie Ryle to impart his last words to the class. Freddie's address is entitled, "One Final Thank You." Freddie?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for responding. Thank you, Emily, for the warm welcome, parents, families, and staff for being here to celebrate. And our graduates. Let's give one more big round of applause for class of 2025. I'm really happy and honored to be up here to share a few words with you all today, even though at least 10 of you guys chased me with water balloons on field day last week. But seriously, congratulations on making it to your 8th grade graduation. You all have worked extremely hard to get here, and if you have not taken the time already, I hope you all can reflect and find it in you to take pride in this accomplishment. You all really deserve it. So, I had written a speech last week in which I would come up here and I would leave you all with 3 pieces of advice. But then I figured, why give you all advice when I've been giving you advice all year? You guys have heard all of my pieces of advice. Control what you can control, do something nice for someone every day, and rule number 1, don't say the word hate in Mr. Ryle's room. At this point, you guys have been using my advice on me. Last week, after Rohan so eloquently set me up, Eddie, Will, and Luca drenched me with some water balloons. I stumbled back into my room, clothes soaked, and I said, "Ooh, I hate those water balloons." All I heard was Ryan Doty walk down the hallway and say, "Mr. Ryle, you're not allowed to say the word hate." So I say all that to say, instead of sharing a few pieces of advice, I'm going to share a few thank you messages to the class of 2025 and a few moments that I will cherish forever. To the class of 2025, thank you for a wonderful year. I could not have imagined a better group of kids to teach in my first year back at Sanford. I can truly say that I've learned just as much from you all as you all have hopefully learned from me. English 1. Wow. I've never met a more creative bunch of kids. Siobhan Lucy, for example, has produced some of the most compelling essays that I've ever read. Arguably my favorite was her process analysis essay on how to make the perfect cup of tea. She titled it Party Time. Do you get it? Party, P-A-R-T-E. I thought it was creative. Aaron McLeod, thank you for sharing a piece of California with me. And even though you never showed us these apparent tricks that you can do on a skateboard, thank you for submitting your beautiful art to the Delaware Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. Luca and Lola, thank you for setting the pace in our class debates, and also for convincing me that you two are siblings for the first few weeks of school. Lastly, Johnny Colgan, thank you for the advice that you were giving me as I was writing this speech. Mr. Colgan told me very adamantly, Mr. Rao, you better include every single literary term that you made me learn this year, or I'm going to purposely forget them. Though I'm not going to include any euphemisms or anything about a paradox, Johnny, thank you for bringing that same energy to our class discussions and debates every day. English 2. I know Corinne and B are nervous. English 2, I love the determination that you all demonstrated throughout the year. From Lily and Ryan trying to persuade me to give them an extra 5 minutes during our mass breaks, or Tegan and Suddy rushing to class early so that they could get the most comfortable chairs. Your class fought for what you wanted. Nico, thank you for the determination that you showed this second semester. Though that determination did not help you beat me in basketball, it certainly was evident in your work ethic. You came to school prepared, ready to ask questions, and you earned your best grade of the year on your final persuasive essay. August and Katie, thank you for making every time we crossed paths a special moment. In addition to your academic success, you two were intentionally kind and welcoming to all of your classmates and teachers, and our school was a better place because of it. English 2, thank you for the determination that you all demonstrated, and thank you for a phenomenal year. English 3, I have 4 of them, by the way. Your class continuously made me proud with how you personalized your assignments and all of your work, and really took pride in your work. If you've ever been around Kim and Charles, you know that they spend about 95% of their time talking about Bitcoin. Throughout the year, Kim penned a beautiful compare and contrast essay about the differences between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and more recently, Charles wrote a phenomenal persuasive essay on cryptocurrency versus the US dollar. In late April, I assigned the Romeo and Juliet project in which the students would have to rewrite their favorite scene in a modern day translation, memorize the script, and then act out that script in front of the class. I know, not the easiest task, I'm sorry about that. But Bree, Jada, and Quinn met the task head on. They transcribed it beautifully, demonstrating their full understanding of Shakespeare's diction, while also implementing modern phrases and jokes from TikTok to keep their classmates engaged. Ava Brooks, need I say more? From Mercutio and Benvolio's secret love story to a persuasive essay about the meaning of life or lack thereof, Ava never missed a chance to explore her interest in her writing. Thank you for a great year, English 3. Lastly, English 4. I'm glad I'm ending with your class because my favorite aspect of your class is something that I want you all to take with you as you all go off to high school. I deeply appreciated how empathetic you all were. When I tell people that I teach 8th graders, their first response is typically something along the line of how mean middle school kids are. But your class was the epitome of thoughtfulness and being empathetic. Siobhan and Gabby, you two read the disreputable history of Frankie Landau Banks last month. And though you both had 2 completely different perspectives on our main character, you two consistently had some of the best class discussions that I've heard. Nikhil and Eli, thank you both for being leaders in our class. Your abilities to debate without putting other perspectives down made our class environment successful and will continue to allow you two to be successful in the future. Andrew Kaiser, thank you for your strong persuasive essay about why we as a society need to rethink how we define bullying. And to the rest of 8-4, thank you for not judging Will Christopher as he made weird faces on Zooms when I wasn't looking. I know this was a rather long speech, and that was not my intent, but your class is deserving of this celebration today. Continue to be creative, remember to have fun with your learning, and personalize your work when possible, and continue to empathize with and support each other. It was an honor to be your teacher. I hope you all stay in touch. Thank you for a phenomenal year, and best of luck in high school.
Thank you, Mr. Ryle. After the 8th grade recesses and the ceremony concludes, summer will officially begin. Have a safe, happy, and relaxing summer. Would everyone please stand as we dismiss the class of 2025 as 8th graders for one last time.
Hey, how do you like that job? You like that job, being a video person?